Burkinabes have ushered in Captain Ibrahim Traore as the new leader who seized power 2 weeks ago in a coup in Burkina Faso. Some 300 delegates from political parties.
Captain Ibrahim Traore was sworn in as president. At a National Assembly on Friday, military, religious, and community leaders gathered to formalize Traore's appointment.
A 34-year-old Ibrahim Traore, who was unknown even in his native Burkina Faso, catapulted himself from army captain to the world's youngest leader in a space of 2 weeks. An ascent that has stoked hopes but also fears for a poor and chronically troubled country, Burkina Faso. Traore, at the head of a corps disgruntled junior officers, ousted Lieutenant General Paul Henry Damiba, who had seized power in January 2022.
Lieutenant Colonel Sandaogo Damiba, the 41-year-old, was commander of the Sahel country's 3rd military region till Monday when he mounted a coup against President Roch Kabore.
Damiba has not announced how long he plans to hold power, but has promised to work with the economic community of West African states towards a return to democratic elections.
The motive for the January 2022 coup was anger at failures to stem a 7-year jihadist insurgency that has claimed thousands of lives and driven nearly 2 million people from their homes. A few days after the September 30th coup, Traore was declared president and guarantor of national independence, territorial integrity, and continuity of the state. And at that very moment, Traore became the world's youngest leader, wresting the title from Chilean President Gabriel Boric. On Friday, October 14, 2022, a national forum made up of about 300 delegates named Traore interim president until elections are held in July 2024.
Burkinabes have ushered in Captain Ibrahim Traore as the new leader who seized power 2 weeks ago in a coup in Burkina Faso. Some 300 delegates from political parties, social and religious groups, security forces, unions, as well as people displaced by jihadist forces took part in national forum to appoint him.
Ibrahim Traore's previously unknown face is now plastered on portraits around the capital of Burkina Faso. His photo is even on sale in the main market alongside portraits of Burkina Faso's revered radical leader Thomas Sankara, assassinated in 1987. But before we continue with his presidents, can we look at Ibrahim Traore's military career? Traore was born in western Burkina Faso and studied geology before joining the army in 2010. He graduated as an officer from the Georges Namanao Military School, a second-tier institution compared to the prestigious Kadiogo Military Academy, PMK, of which Damiba and others in the elite are alumni. Ibrahim Traore emerged second in his class, and after his graduation, he gained years of experience in the fight against the jihadists. He served in the badly hit north and center of the country before heading to a posting in neighboring Mali in 2018 in the UN's peacekeeping mission. He was appointed captain in 2020. When Damiba took power in January 2022, out-sitting the elected president, Christian Kabore, Traore became a member of the Patriotic Movement for Preservation and Restoration, MPSR. But again, where did the discontent come from? In March 2022, Damiba promoted Traore to head of artillery, but it was a move that ironically would sow the seeds of Damiba's own downfall. The regiment became a cradle of discontent, and Traore, tasked by his colleagues with channeling their frustrations, made several trips to the capital to plead their case with Damiba, the president. At that point, disillusionment at the response turned into anger, which appears to have crystallized into resolve to seize power after an attack on a convoy in northern Burkina Faso in September 2022 that left 27 soldiers and 10 civilians dead. According to one security consultant, Mohamedou Savadogo, Captain Traore symbolizes the exasperation of junior officers and the rank and file. Right now, the new president of Burkina Faso, who is Ibrahim Traore, faces a daunting task in regaining the upper hand over the jihadist groups, some affiliated with Al-Qaeda and others with the Islamic State group. They have steadily gained ground since they launched their attacks from Mali in 2015. But Traore has promised to do this within 3 months. Now, there is something that we should note and shouldn't leave behind. Traore's takeover comes during a struggle for influence between France and Russia in French-speaking Africa, where former French colonies are increasingly turning to Moscow. But support and love for Russia has been demonstrated in the recent weeks, including the most recent one when demonstrators who rallied for him in the capital of Burkina Faso during the standoff with Damiba waved Russian flags and chanted anti-France slogans. Ibrahim Traore seems for now to bring hope to many in a country sinking steadily in a state of quagmire. He embodies renewal, a generational renewal, and a break with old practices.